Have you ever thought about how life would be if you were dancing, playing in success and failure? Reset your definition. Would there ever be a true failure then? Maybe some lessons learned, maybe learning how to have resilience, maybe seeing where you may not be letting things go. So, learning about resentment and how that can stop you, or that you're trying to learn how to forgive and you're like, how do I do that? That's why I brought Carolyn C.J. Jones in for this time to be with you on the podcast. I also have Janine Olmos. She is speaking about resilience. She has a process that goes step by step. Incredible. Because even in there, there's a spot about being tenacious. So why not learn about what we used to call as failures, more like you're ready to dance and play, really get into it. My name is Rhonda Liebig. I'm an energy revitalizer, cash vitality coach. I'm the creator and founder and producer and creative being out of what this show is becoming. Every show that we do, I get so preciously in love with this journey deeper and deeper with the Fresh Inspiration Show. To have these experts that come in and share their spirit, their passion, what they're doing, are you finding it a way for you to open up your door so that you feel like you're out there inspiring more people? Our community, I'm starting to call you the inspirers. Anybody that wants to mentally up-level their game, lock arms with others, and learn from others, and also guide and teach others, you're my kind of people. You're the Fresh Inspiration Show community. You are an inspirer, and I'm so excited to launch this hashtag, the Fresh Inspiration Show Inspirers. Okay, so what I'm thinking is you're going to be ready for this podcast if you know that things have been holding you back. You haven't been dancing and playing enough. You feel like you have been lost in all of this terribleness that's going on. It's just coming at you and you don't know how to stop it. It just keeps coming. And you're like, oh, I need a clear head. You could also be on the other side where you're like, well, yeah, I got this, but I need a little bit extra. This reminds me of the guys from the 70s. That was, I forgot their names. Dan Aykroyd and who's the other awesome character from Saturday Night Live? You know, like the Wild and Crazy Guys, if you ever watched that. Like, you know you got this. Like, your shoulders are just going for it. I got this. But you still are like, I'm still partnering. I still love having excitement because I look at podcasts as just another up level for the day. So I want you to enjoy this, truly. From my heart to yours, we have 2 podcast releases for you for dancing, playing, and success and failure. The first hour podcast that you're going to see here, make sure you click for the second one also. But the first hour is the opening ceremony. I'm calling it Dancing, Playing, and Success and Failure. Reset your definition. Second portion of it, the resilience from vision to community. Then I'm talking about reviving your dance to create more income. And that is me. That I'm going to be on the second hour of the podcast where I'm playing. I'm playing about, music and love and joy and what we have going on and how to bring memories back based on the way that we see things and how to clear that. And so I think in this podcast, we really can't play the music because it's like all these top hits, and I think we'll get stopped, from Spotify and YouTube and all that. But we're going to do some cuts there so you get to enjoy a little bit of me supporting you. And in the second hour, you're going to also have Carolyn C.J. Jones. So I'm so excited. Enjoy. and you have a fabulous day. Keep growing and listen in. Enter the doorway. I'm going to do an outro video for you. Make sure you grab the tail end so you can really hear some of the nuggets that I think I would love for you to have. And I would love for you to share the nuggets that you got. Make sure you do reviews for us because we are growing. Love this. Love you.
Fresh inspiration. Fresh inspiration. Fresh inspiration. Fresh inspiration.
Everybody, if you could just accept that. We are here for the show. We're here for you. We're here for mindset transformation, entertainment. This is our monthly show, and we're here. Today, it's about stepping into truly learning how to feel successful. Not just, oh, I did something, let's get ready to move on. But how do you play in success? And how do you play in failure? Or do you sit with failure? Or what do you do with that? So I have a resilience coach here that loves self-compassion. I have someone who really looks at food in a nurturing way. You can have success and failure in that in your mindset. I have me coming along too. I'm going to play with music today with you. And we're going to talk about, have like this top 10 list. And I just love talking about it, but there's 3 things I'm going to pull from there that really stop us from celebrating and also feeling down in the dumps and staying there. So I'm going to bring up some music and some words to help open that up. And we have Carolyn C.J. Jones. She's going to be in here around 11ish. And we're going to be playing with this. And she's going to be talking about resentment. And if you've ever had, which I think all of us have, some type of resentment or getting angry at somebody and not really knowing how to release it or how to get over it, or something could have happened years ago and you're still going, oh, you can feel it in your heart or your brain just gets all twisted. That's what I'm here for today. That's what we are here for you today. Why are you here? Give some love for yourself and think about this. Let's connect. Why are you here today? What are you bringing in? What does it feel like to open the door today to all your possibilities? Every month, that's what I'd like to see. What are you coming in with? What do you want to work on? Or what do you want to be a surprise? Like maybe there's something there you feel like it's just been there, but you don't know what it is, but you feel it, but you can't release it. I bet this show will just bubble it up, help you feel safe, and just give you some freedom. And the freedom is going to be with the tools. And so you may not feel full freedom while you're here, but I'll tell you what. You're going to be entertained. You are going to be entertained. So why don't we start with a little bit of music that is all about the Fresh Inspiration Show. It's all about showing up for you. You ready? Let's go for it.
Fresh inspiration. Fresh inspiration. Fresh inspiration.
I like it so much. Let's just keep playing. Let's put in a loop. Let's do it for 4 hours. Let's just do it. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're going to really ground the space here for you. How has your month been? We haven't seen you for a month. What's been going on for you? We've got a lot of stuff happening out there in the world. Bring it in and learn how to release it. Bring it in, release like Play-Doh. Kind of just play with it today. Because we're going to talk about being able to play when it just doesn't feel good. So let's do it. Let me tell you how to play here. So let's do a little thing here so we can set it up for you. If you've never been part of the show, or you have been and you're like confused, what's the layout? What's going on? First, I want to introduce myself, if I may. My name is Rhonda Liebig. I'm an energy revitalizer, cash vitality coach, creator of the Fresh Inspiration Show, Mindset Transformation Entertainment. Before we went live here in this group, in this community, we were live out physically doing a tour. And I had some great speakers, and you've probably enjoyed a lot of the stars here on the show. Every month we have recurring people coming in, like Janine Olmos, and we have CJ Jones coming in. We have somebody new, April Wall, and we have new people coming in. So we have recurring stars and new stars coming in. People who get to win 15-minute scholarships, so they get to be here and express at least an opening, 15 minutes to be with you. Our stars get a full 1 hour. And in that hour, or in that 15 minutes, in the opening ceremony at the top and also closing ceremony, it's symposium style. The whole show is now where you get to feel like you're in a workshop. And you get to have your journal and a pen. Pen is fabulous because it just feels permanent. You get to write notes, but you also can get your fingers going. And you get to type in there, and you get to be safe in this private group, and you get to say whatever you want. And that means whatever you want. Because what I've noticed in this group, I've never had to talk to anybody about shaming people or truly saying something that is just like so out there that it can really be painful for somebody in the way that maybe ridiculing somebody else. But I really do like the vulnerability. If you find that somebody is saying something that just hits you right here, you go, man, I truly believe what Janine is saying, or April, or even like, I don't understand why Janine is saying this about resilience. Come in that way too. Ask questions, but also share some of your stories. Say, yeah, I got this. Understand what you're saying. And the community can start interacting really big time as we're doing this, because I am watching everything that's going on. So I'm going to close this window to make sure I can see what's going on. But I'm here for you as the host of the show. I've been doing this for 4 years now. And I like to keep it to where it feels nice and flowy and creative. And I like the structure around being able to communicate back and forth. So if Janine's in the middle of something, I'll let her finish her area and I'll say, hey, Janine, can I ask you a question? And I've never had anybody say no. Well, I have had somebody kind of like go, hold on here, let me finish. This is a talk. Let me finish this. But the stars of this show will stop and they'll say, what? And I'll say, well, somebody just said something. It's incredible. And I'll share it with them. And they get to stop for a moment, breathe in what you're saying. And if you're being vulnerable, they get to be there as your coach for you at that moment. And sometimes we all get engaged in it because it's a really deep discussion. And then the star will go in from that area and keep on going. And what you're going to get from here is delectable, big, beautiful stuff. And so everybody has their own way of being able to share their stories. The stars do in the way they approach things. And so you get energy in all different ways. It's quite incredible. I love it this way. I hope you do too. Also, what I want to give you right now is you can have your journal, but also when you opted in to get a digital ticket, you also received a handout that you could print. And I'm going to give that to you also in our comment area. And what this is something basic that the marketing team from the Fresh Inspiration Show put together. This is where you get to write who is the star of the show and what notes you want to put or how to connect with them. and I have like 4 sections for you. So I'm going to put that right here, and that is a way to keep track of your notes. Also know what show that you saw. So I'm going to put it right here for you. This is our first comment of the day. Make sure you check in. And I'm going to see if anybody needs to be part of our private group. So I'll make sure that happens also, to make sure that you get to be in here and ask any questions, because you want to be accepted in the group before you can say anything. So keep that in mind, and I will let you in as soon as I see you asking to be in. So keep notes for yourself. Here is the link. All right. So, ladies, I wanted to talk to you and just check in. Also, in a little bit, I'm going to give you a recipe that I put together for you, and it's coming from one of my books. I have 2 books. They're around somewhere, right over there. But I pulled a recipe for you, and I'm going to share with you why I pulled that for our theme, Dancing and Playing with Success and Failure. Redefine your definition. Okay, April, Janine, let's get a little conversation here about how you're showing up today. How are you feeling about our discussion on dancing and playing with success and failure? Redefine your definition. Who would like to go first? April, I see you ready to go. Anybody unmuting? That just means, you're ready. April, I'm so happy to have you here, my friend. And I will give a proper introduction for our more of what we're talking about. Hi, I mean, who April is. We'll talk more about what Janine does and all that kind of stuff, more detail. April, how are you doing today?
Wonderful.
I love it.
Perfect topic, because we all have certain definitions we've grown up with as around food and responsibility that we have for preparing it and making sure it's nutritious. And what I'm all about is creating better intentions and bringing more joy and fun into that experience, and reevaluating what you thought had to be, and what the options are.
April, how are you feeling today? Anything that just felt like, I mean, are you fully ready to give your all in? You're going to be here speaking about 10 minutes, but how did it feel getting ready for the show today? And authenticity, what was the feeling and the vibe? Because you won a 15-minute scholarship, which I'm so excited that you have. And I'm really, truly enjoying getting to know you. So how did it feel coming on today and getting ready for all this?
Awesome. Busy morning, but that may be good.
Yeah, I find, well, I was up about 4:30, and for some reason it was already 10 to 8 when I realized, oh, we're starting soon. I was watching the time, but I was just so excited. I just couldn't stop myself. Is that how you feel, April? Just that you're feeling like, it was a busy morning, getting yourself ready. But I mean, you're really going to be serving, my friend. I really appreciate you being here.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. Janine, I love having you back. Let's see here. Janine, how did we originally meet? This is great conversation. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our community, and it's really about getting to know each other before you get on the show, before, sometimes we're doing business together too. And it's really cool how this world really works. Janine, how did we meet? I forgot.
I am pretty sure we met on Katrina Sawa's meeting, some kind of networking meeting, or it was, maybe it was Happy Neighborhood. I don't remember, but it was one major networking meeting we met. I'd have to look back at my notes to find out, but I heard you speak and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to connect with Rhonda.
So it was one of the times that I was a speaker. Oh, maybe I was just, I love to make comments because it makes me feel so good to be able to be with community and just, kind of share my emotions around it. But Janine, that's awesome. I really am infectiously in love with you too, because you did. I added like that. You said that to me. See, I'm infectiously in love with you too. You're like, oh, Rhonda, I didn't say that, but okay.
I was thinking it.
Oh, see, and I got that download. Hey, that's real interesting because, I find that everybody that walks through these doors has some real deep spiritual connection in some way for themselves, and they're living that life, or it's that you just feel like there's a reason why we're together, like there's just something that's going on. Janine, how did you feel this morning as you were central? So you're 2 hours ahead. It's 10:30ish, going towards for your time. How are you feeling today?
Really good, really excited. I can't wait to hear your take on dance and how to change things. So I'm excited, and I love to dance. So I'm excited to be a part of this today.
Oh, Janine, I'm so happy you're here. I did one thing I want to say about that is I told my editor that I was going to be dancing and playing. He goes, "Well, I'll have to look at that footage to see how I'm going to use that." He's probably thinking you're going to be on kickball chain, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if you know me, you know that it's going to be something that just, whatever happens at that moment, I have structure. I'm just saying. And so, Janine, do you, I try and hold the safest, playful, grounded space for people, and I hope I do that for you. And because we're talking about resilience today, and have you had a chance to do a talk on this? Because I know we're not doing like a real talk, because it is a talk, because you're going to be communicating and sharing. It's like it really truly is a symposium style, but it is a talk. We've been kind of went over some ways that you can be presenting and doing different things around it. So it is that. But how's it feel? First question: have you presented it before? How's it feel to know that you get some time really helping people around finding their strength?
I haven't presented as much information as I will today. I've briefly touched on it, so I am pumped to be able to share so much more detail today, because resilience, there's 6 components of it, at least in my program. And I want to be able to share that because a lot of people don't know that there's components of it and that there's a lot of depth to actually building resilience. So I'm excited to be able to share that with people and maybe touch someone and let them
Yeah.
know that I can help if they need to build it.
I like the area that you're going to be speaking about is vision, and we were talking even about tenacity. Like, how does tenacity, fit in with resilience? But it feels so playful and loving. So I feel like when we talk about something real serious, I love seeing your components, because it's like, oh, yeah, it's what I love to play. So I can't wait till I see what your 6 are, which I actually already know. And we talked about it because we got 15, 20 minutes together on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, to do a Facebook Live together. So I love it. Thank you so much, my friend. So how you feeling? How you feeling today? Feeling, yeah.
Good. I always get a lot of energy when I come talk to you and be on this show, because it's just a safe space to relax and learn things and get to know other people like April. So
Yeah.
I love it. It's a bright part of my day for sure.
Ooh, I love that. I learned from somebody. He passed away. I was doing a retreat here, and they said, someone called me and said Tony passed away. And Tony is a man where I traveled all the way to San Diego and barely had any money in my pocket, but I just knew I needed to be there. And if anybody heard my story, even about moving to San Diego, and I had $150 in my pocket, as a cash vitality coach, I'll tell you, the money is there no matter what you do. You may have a little deficit, but then all of a sudden it pops up. But I went to San Diego, and Tony was from San Francisco, but he had something going on in San Diego. I learned so much about having a warm stage. And I thought that it was just me being freaky about, like, well, I practiced this talk, but why is it coming out this way? And so I would travel 3 hours one way, go speak for half an hour, drive 3 hours back. And I would do that because Tony kept a safe stage. I understood that what my space is here in the world. The Fresh Inspiration Show is for this community, the Fresh Inspiration Show, Mindset Transformation, Entertainment, our community, is that I just want to give you good stuff. I mean, just like nothing else outside of that. Nothing else outside. And just seems so small, but I mean, yes, because there's a lot of noise out there. So just that path right there. So when I look at April and I look at you, Janine, I look at CJ, what we're doing today is that I had to say yes to you too, because what I learned from Tony is not just that you personally have a safe space for somebody to be able to virtually or physically speak, but also the other people around. You want to make sure that people are in their heart, and sometimes people don't always know it. Sometimes people can lash out and you just go, well, they're not in the right space. It's not the right time for them. But as time goes on, some good things may happen where they start opening up and they are really, truly nice and in love with others. I work on that. I learned that from my mentor. And so I feel like he's around around me, just the spirit of him. So today I want you to think about when we're looking at the vulnerable stuff of playing in success, how comfortable does that feel? You're like, oh yeah, that's easy because that feels good. But does it? When you're in your abundance, how far do you go? Is it really just like, oh, I'm in abundance. It's just a word and I feel good because I succeeded. Now what's the next thing? And I'll talk more about this later, and we'll capture this with April and Janine and everybody, because you're going to feel the vibe here. Celebrating can be very vulnerable and embarrassing, uncomfortable, unless you learn how to celebrate. Also, failure. Failure to me is a really cool word, but in general population, I'd say 99.9% when you say failure is the definition of what Webster says, and now Google. I guess Google's replaced. Anyway. And when you look at failure, it's the most beautiful space. You can have failure with money. You can have failure with a relationship, and so on and so on and so on. But it stays there if you feel it here and you don't wash it. Or you feel it here and you're not clearing. Or you feel it here and you go, oh, ulcers. You feel it here and you just stop yourself. That's the old Webster definition. And here, though, if you really are saying 60,000 words to yourself a day, it's a study. 80% of that is known to be negative. Well, if you're in this group, maybe it's 70% or less as you hone in on what you're saying, but you got to hear what's back here. 80% of those words that you're saying that they're cycled, it's 90% of those words that you're saying that are cycled. It's been recycling since you were younger or a teenager, whatever, and it's recycling, you can't hear it. And so failure can be very deep because you've been hearing it so long, you don't even know you're hearing it. Today, I want you to give yourself the space to breathe in and give yourself that feeling of, I got your back, I got you. Because there may be some points where you feel vulnerable, even in the celebration part. Bring all that in. Type, tell me how you're doing. Share with me what you're really enjoying about the show. Give yourself opportunity to really do what you want to do, which is keep transforming your day, your life, what you love to do. Because what you love to do is truly your passion. We all are rock stars. We all truly are very lucky to be here on earth. And it doesn't always feel like that. Today, let's learn why. Let's learn why we love living on this earth. Because if you don't allow the freedom, we lose our body, we lose our life, or we shorten it, or we wish that we were gone and it just pinches us and we still live, but it feels scary out there when you get in that space. Today, it's about holding the space for you and freedom, and really appreciating this world. Releasing resentment, releasing how scary it is out there, and really that's failure. You're like that feeling like it's scary, and how you can release that so you can be in truth and not put it under the carpet like we like to say, but really opening it up, blowing it up. Yeah, blowing it up so you can see it. And then you can start looking at different ways of looking at it. So we're going to give that, because we have 4, counting myself. I've counted myself. We have 4 stars for you today that are going to help. Let's leave it at that. So take a deep breath in, and I hope I set the stage for you. Let's bring it in and hold it right here. And I'm just doing a seal salutation, but it's right around the heart. And let's bring it in. And let's release on the big exhale and let it go. Whatever's there, ready to let go. And you're going to bring it in, breathe it in, open up, expand the lungs, really use the lungs, open up the shoulders, really let the weight of the world get a little bit lighter. Come into the belly, sink into the tailbone, into Mother Earth, and hold that space for yourself. We all got your back. We're all going to be in discussion today, and I can't wait. So let's go for it. Okay, let's get into our first star, April Wall. I have been enjoying working with April Wall. You know, April Wall, when you talk to her, she has this beautiful, soft, tender loveliness about her, the way she shows up in her spirit, how she truly cares about her granddaughter. You see that in social media. And make sure that you are, asking to be friends of the stars too, so you can keep up with them. And this delicateness is something that you're going to be able to see when we start talking about your kitchen and what it is about what April does, so that she can help you feel that you can make a meal and it doesn't hurt you. Because who wants more freedom with food? And not be concerned about, is this I don't know how to cook this or that to be healthy, and I don't know how to make it so it tastes good. So we're going to talk to April about even the product that she carries, because we want to know what that is. And I want to make sure that you know how to connect with her also. All of these components are important as you get to learn and experience what she's about. She also has a very technical background. April, did you work in corporate also? You worked in corporate, didn't you?
Yes.
And for how many years, my friend?
Oh my gosh, 25?
I was gonna say 20, but like 25, yeah. Yeah, and isn't that funny? Who's worked in corporate before? And said, man, that machine, it can work for some people, but I think entrepreneurs or when you're in that space of really expanding, it can feel kind of pinched down because it's such a big machine that just seems to work on its own. It's like, when do I get my time? And so April's here to have her time. April, what is it about food for you that means something special in life? Like, why are we talking about food with you? Like, what is this about how you got into this area and you're like, that's what I really care about? What's your story, my friend?
Well, I had a big health change, probably about 10 years ago, a little bit more than 10 years ago, and really almost had what you would call just emphysema, difficulty breathing. I could actually almost stop breathing and not be able to catch my breath because of congestion that started developing in my body. I'm not going to go into a lot of technical descriptions, but one day I don't do well with medicine, period, point, paragraph. My body does not react well to it.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at the side effects and I'm, doing inhalers and nebulizers and, just everything. And it still wasn't helping. And I said, okay, what do I need to change? There has to be something that's causing this.
Yeah.
And I really looked at my diet and started changing the foods I ate and what I was drinking, my mindset, my intentions, reevaluating what I had been told was correct, and was actually able to heal myself and get off these medicines. I still have sensitivity to things because it's what we're being presented with in the market, especially if I'm eating out or getting takeout or something. But it just became very personal to me and something that I saw in so many of my friends and acquaintances that they were starting to struggle with the same things. Everything from bloating to, it manifests differently in different people, whether it's migraines or, bloating or just, so many symptoms. So that's how I really decided that food was an integral part. I deal with other things as well, but that seems to be a real basis for everyone, that if we can improve what we're doing
Yeah.
and have it be easy and fun and proven to work,
Yeah.
then, that just takes that stress off our plate because we really don't need additional stresses. And then we can address the other areas that, we want to make changes in.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Very, very powerful. Thank you, April. Okay, so when